Depending on the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on St. Kitts and Nevis, some carnival festivities this year will be transitioned to virtual events, according to Chairman of the National Carnival Committee, Shannon Hawley. Ms. Hawley was speaking on the weekly web series The Youth's Toolkit, which aired on Saturday and Sunday.
We have to take into consideration the financial aspect of things. And we understand that, of course, carnival is a social activity. There's no physical distancing per se when you are in a Juve band or a Grand Parade troupe. So everything that we do for this year, we have to take into consideration upfront. These very, very peculiar times and sensitive times. So what I have planned for the future may not be what I have planned for this year. For this year, the intention, and things may change because we never know what may happen over the next few months. We've been hearing that the possibility of St. Kitts reopening the borders. We know that it is, we can't stay closed forever. So we know that St. Kitts is reopening the borders. We have seen around the region and we've seen around the world what has been happening when borders have been reopened. So everything that we do for 2020 has to take these things into consideration, that COVID is with us. So for 2020, the aim is, of course, to host a number of virtual events. And the aim is also to scale back significantly on the typical carnival festivities. And I think people need to understand this, and I think people will understand this.
Ms. Hawley gave some insights into what may happen to Carnival for 2020.
So we have to look at things as a worst case scenario. So the intention is to have both. So both virtual events, and you will see a lot of virtual events leading up to the December period. So you will see a lot of virtual, whether it's a day fete, a virtual band clash, a virtual bandstand, which are some of the things that we're looking at, where you will have the opportunity to experience that fete setting virtually, number one, as the days lead up to that December festivity period. And then we foresee that there can be events where social distancing can take place in an outdoor setting. So there are a number of national carnival events that we have looked at, that we have realized, okay, well, you know, we can seat individuals 6 feet apart. We can have individuals in an outdoor setting, patrons in an outdoor setting, which is critical because we know that indoor settings are an issue as it relates to COVID-19. So we know that there are a number of national carnival events, specifically the national carnival shows. You know, you have the Queen show, you have the Talented Teen, GQ, swimwear competitions that all can take place with physical distancing. So those are some of the shows that we are looking at to take place during the month of December, because we know social distancing can happen with those shows.
In an exclusive interview with Skn Newsline, Minister of Culture Janelle Powell also hinted to doing virtual events for carnival festivities.
We are still having discussions on when school opens, how does that happen, what happens, employment, opening the borders, tourism, you know, all these are discussions that are live at the moment. But if we are going to have a carnival, obviously certain planning does need to start now. People need to know in advance what they can do for what they can't do. And so we've already started engaging stakeholders to do so. I think if the answer is going to be yes, we can't expect it to be business as usual. It must be a very much scaled back version of what we're accustomed to. But whatever we do would have to bear in mind the necessary COVID-19 protocols. We've been able to, as we've seen, pull off a number of virtual events in recent months, probably more successfully election campaigns on a virtual platform that may or may not have, you know, be the way that we have to go. But we're engaging the public, we're engaging the stakeholders, we're engaging the health officials, and ultimately we will have to engage the government from a financial standpoint.
The St. Kitts Music Festival was one of the major entertainment events that was cancelled as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Ms. Hawley said the National Carnival Committee will be meeting with stakeholders to determine the plans for the 2020 Carnival. The Youth's Toolkit airs on SKN Unchained Facebook page on Saturdays and on the Skn Newsline Facebook page on Sundays at 5 p.m. A radio version airs on Voice of the Caribbean Radio Mondays at 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. Andre Huey, Skn Newsline. Minister General Powell said he does not believe he should resign based on the latest judgment in the court matter involving a law firm owned by him and Minister Lindsey Grant. In an interview with Skn Newsline, Minister Powell said that the court matter was public knowledge prior to the elections, and both he and Mr. Grant were elected by the people of their constituencies.
The judgment that was handed down is nothing new in substance. The people of this country knew about that particular court case involving Lindsey Grant and I for quite some time now. We put ourselves before the public, and the public overwhelmingly chose us over competitors and over the Labour Party in our respective constituencies in the last general elections. Bearing in mind what they knew that was in that case. The judgment that was handed down recently, or published recently, was a judgment speaking about the technicalities and the technical deficiencies that existed in our case, and not on the substantive matters that were raised. It did not speak to the fact that till now we have not had an opportunity to be heard on the matter, but at the same time the court has spoken. We respect, as officers of the court, we respect the decision of the court, albeit along technical lines and not on the substantive matter, and we maintain our position that we did nothing wrong, that the court itself has said, and that has not changed, that the claimant in the claim is not entitled to any repayments of monies because no monies were missing.
The suit was filed by Tanzania Tobin Tanzil, a former client of Grant and Powell, who claimed that a sum of $460,000 was misappropriated by the law firm. The money in question is related to a condominium purchase under the Citizenship by Investment program. Two attempts to file an appeal of a default judgment from 2018 failed as the applications were denied due in large part to the defendants not meeting certain deadlines. Skn Newsline asked Mr. Powell why they failed to meet these deadlines twice in filing their appeal.
We had counsel, and we operated through the advice of counsel. When you look at even the initial judgment, and I smile because the original judgment by the court saw our side interpreting the timing based on the rules with one time. The claimant's counsel read the same rule and interpreted it a different time, and the court interpreted that same rule using it with a third time. And so, these things happen in law, and at the end of the day, we through our counsel have to take responsibility for it.
Meanwhile, Mr. Powell was asked whether, from a professional standpoint, he regrets this episode of his legal career.
Whether you're a lawyer or you're in any other profession, you don't want to see any form of blemish on your record, whether it be big or small. And so, for me personally, I'd be lying if I said I did not prefer not to have a record without this particular blemish or allegation on it. But things happen. Things happen in life. Life is not perfect. I think that we are known well enough within the legal profession and fraternity. People know us, how we operate, how we perform. It certainly has not in any way affected any of our clients or potential clients. The law firm continues to operate as it did before.
The appeal court heard arguments in the case on June 10 and 29 and denied the application of Powell and Grant for leave to appeal the decision of High Court Judge His Lordship Justice Eddie Ventus in refusing to set aside the default judgment against them and in favor of Mr. Tanzania Tobin Tanzil. Andre Huey, Skn Newsline.
It's not just iced tea and it's not cold tea. But who said we couldn't be in the middle? We are Mother Becky Quenchers, a herbal iced tea. It's a different and innovative take on using traditional herbs for tea. It's a home-brewed blend of natural, organic herbs and spices, ready to drink at any time. We've turned ingredients you've used many times into something crisp, thirst-quenching, and did we mention taste awesome? Drinking tea just got better. Mother Becky Tea.
In these stressful times, you need relief, a way to release your stress and care for your health. You need Serenity. Yes, Serenity Mobile Spa, where we come to your home and offer the very best in massage and spa treatment. Your health is our priority as we practice the highest hygiene procedures before, during, and after your treatment. Choose from massages to meet your physical needs, scrubs, facials, waxing, and much more. We also provide our customers a complimentary serving of refreshing local coconut water with each massage. During these restricted times, we urge our customers to stay healthy. We will come to you.
Call us at 762-0157 or 760-8899. Find us on Facebook, Serenity Mobile Spa St. Kitts, or email us at serenitymobilespa869@gmail.com.
Serenity Mobile Spa.
Auto Plus Car Wash, located on the College Street Gut, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Bring your car to Auto Plus Car Wash to remove water stains, wiper marks. Get your doors, roof panel cleaned, seat floor mats, buffing, headlights, and engine wash. You get quality service at the best price at Auto Plus Car Wash. They really care for your car. Call 765-5140 or visit them on the College Street Gut, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Auto Plus Car Wash, where the service is number one. Failure to wear masks in public places could become a ticketable offense, according to head of the COVID-19 task force, Abdia Samuel. He was addressing the most recent weekly briefing of the National Emergency Operating Center, NEOC.
And some of the recommendations going forward in order for us to get some compliance is to, one, host a number of consultations, meetings with stakeholders, the general public, via various means. Two, we also look at the potential of making it a ticketable offense, whereby persons will basically have to pay a ticket. They will be ticketed for not wearing masks. We have seen how some curriculum leaders have echoed the sentiment of moving from having to take you to court and empowering the police officers to be able to give you a ticket. We look at the cost of these tickets. At present, if you are taken to court, you can pay anywhere up to $5,000 or 6 months in prison, or you can actually be fined both, which is the 6 months and still pay the $5,000. We are saying maybe we looked at some ranging of prices or costs of these ticketable offense, whereby if you don't pay, the ticket itself can become an automatic summons after 10 days. These are some of the recommendations that have come forward in our discussions as a task force. The reason for this is, again, for us to be able to have persons become compliant to these regulations, which are going to help us to remain safe against the impact of this virus.
Meanwhile, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hazel Laws highlighted the importance of wearing masks.
It's very important to recognize the importance of wearing the face mask, because it's protecting you from the other person and the other person from you. And they provided us some additional information. Another study published in the American Journal of Infection Control just highlights that as human beings, we are constantly touching our face. And it's normal for us to touch our face as many as 23 times in 1 hour. And that's a mean. And so it's important also to try and keep your hands out of your face, nose, and mouth. And the study goes on to say that the coronavirus that causes COVID-19, it can remain present and infectious on the outer layer of your face mask for up to 7 days. And I'm sharing this information to underscore the need for us to manage our face masks properly. All right, so those of us who wear the disposable face masks, it's important for us to discard of them properly in the bin and always wash your hands after taking off the face mask. And then those of us who wear the cloth or the fabric, the locally produced face mask, I would recommend that you launder or wash these masks at the end of every day.
Andre Huey, Skn Newsline. St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party Chairman Dr. Terence Drew is very confident the 6 election petitions filed by Labour Party candidates will be successful in court. Dr. Drew says the state of emergency during the elections presented an unfair advantage to the Labour Party.
St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party would have done all that they could have done. It appealed to the regional bodies, it appealed to our own civil society here, and asked them to intervene when we recognized that there was a conspiracy to suppress the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party's campaign. To the point where the Prime Minister disinvited international observers. That would have been the first in St. Kitts and Nevis. Some people are saying, Dr. Drew, Labour Party should have boycotted the elections completely. I mean, there would have been a political earthquake. But we are saying that it was unfair. The field was not level. For example, at our virtual meetings, the police would come and they would say that we can only have this limited number. Whereas the government was hosting big parties over at Marriott. And we saw the pictures coming out. I would say here that we had a meeting with the task force. Dr. Douglas as the leader, the political leader, and myself as the chairman of the party. And while we were discussing with the task force, I was told when I asked a question about why is it there is such a difference that is almost seem unfair. It was unfair that they can have big crowds at Marriott while we were limited to a very small crowd we were having our virtual meetings. And the answer from the task force was we don't know. So I asked the question, how is it you are the task force? I know, but you don't know, and pictures are out there in social media.
How many persons in police here you were allowed in the room?
Well, I think at some point they were telling us 10 to 15. I think it was up to 15, and of course the numbers increase accordingly. But can you imagine having a meeting every night with just 10 to 15 people? By the time you're bringing your technicians and so forth, you're already almost over the number. So you could not bring in your supporters to really, draw the energy and create that type of atmosphere which would inspire confidence in the people who were listening that this is the party and this is where we need to go.
The Labour Party is alleging that elections were mired in bribery and electoral irregularities and is calling for fresh elections. Andre Huey, Skn Newsline. Gospel artist Sarah the DVN has done it again, this time in ways you've never imagined. Normally known for his smooth singing and reggae performance from his 2 previous releases, Sarah's newest single, Tehila Adir, is a soca track. Yes, soca. And the response has been overwhelming. Sarah debuted the song recently on Freedom FM with host EK.
Alright, but it's a Hebrew name Tehila Adir. Right? But when they translate that meaning now to English, it means song of praise to the sovereign God. To the sovereign God, our song of praise to the Most High God. Yes, and then Tehila would give you a meaning as song or song of praise and Adair would give you a meaning like strong, mighty, or so supreme in strength. So the both of them together, Song of Praise to the Sovereign God. Then
Sarid explained how the song was inspired.
So Shabu production, Chavez from St. Kitts, he's the one that's responsible for the beat.
Right.
I tell you, I was at home, the quarantine is going on and at home, and I have some songs to release, but I'm saying I'm not getting the songs them. Little Man Productions would send me the song, big up to Little Man Production from USA. So I went on Shabu website and I saw the first beat. I said soca, so I said soca. Because I know that soca have a speed there, and I said okay, because people have been talking to me about
some vibes.
Yeah, it's a blessing,
Remember I tell you,
Yeah, it's a blessing, and I said okay, let me hear that beat, because normally God is good, and I said let me hear that beat, and then from the moment I press play, ting 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 ting,
come.
and then how me and God work now with the Holy Spirit, then God just start giving me melody, and words, and I just start up. And to tell you the truth, I went to bed so late that night because I was so determined. My wife and my little daughter gone to sleep, and I was there working.
Yes,
in the night. I think after 12, I was still up working. And I've been practicing. And then when I text Shabu and say, look here, I have 2 songs for one of the beat, I want to book a time to record it. And Shabu say, he give me some. Yeah, So I want to thank God for Shabu, and then we get it going. And Paige, she's a blessed singer. Paige from St. Kitts, bless up to Paige and where she did too. She's the one that do the harmony. Yeah, the sweet vocals, man. God bless her. And sent her the song, and she sent some good reply, and I said to God be the glory. And then Paige, she just bless it up, man. And I tell you, God wrote the song, and Shabu mixed the song and mastered the song. And blessings to Shabu, Little Man Production also. He did a YouTube video for us. A blessing to Little Man, Clay and Salman.
The artist commended his wife Joelle for helping him with the song.
So my wife also have her part to share on it, in encouraging in Donovan. Change that word. And I tell you, my wife, she more versed. She more versed in the. So big blessings to my wife Joelle, and it's my wife who Joelle Grant, Cranston also Joelle Grant. She is the one who said Donovan, because I didn't want to name the song Amazing, because in the verse like he's amazing, getting high and I said on a high range, and I said okay, and she said Donovan, hold on, and she went into the Hebrew. And she said, this is the name. And this is the English meaning. I said, okay. And I said, okay, let's go.
There you go.
And to God be the glory.
The name Sarid is Hebrew for survivor, and DVN is the acronym for his given name, Donovan. A Jamaican by birth, Sarid resides in St. Kitts with his wife and daughter and owns his Sarid branded record label and clothing line. Sarid DVN promises to release more music as he gets ready to drop his debut album. As we await a date for the resumption of the SKNFA Premier League, we continue our features of the teams in the country's football top flight. Today, we feature the United Old Road Jets. Old Road would have been plying their trade in Division 1 this season had it not been for the scrapping of relegation due to the football impasse last season. They now have a chance to put out a better performance this season, but so far there have been mixed results. Their coach is from the community and knows the players quite well. After several seasons coaching Connery FC, coach Alexis Morris was about to hang up his coaching boots when the youngsters from Virchilds called him to coach them.
First of all, after the Connery team, I must say that I really wanted a break from the game because I've been going for quite a while, and I really wanted a break from the game, but I was approached by a number of players that I would have coached at the Virchilds High School, and they asked me to come and lend them a helping hand, and knowing that I'm living in the area. It was a welcome thing, and I did it. I went, and I thought that I must say that they welcomed me with open arms. They're basically now, in terms of what we're working on, you can see that the players, they're loving it. They are eager to learn. They're eager to go forward.
Coach Morris has a good track record, having led Connery to multiple finals appearances and a title back in 2013. Leading Old Road to a title might seem far-fetched in the immediate future, but he is at least expected to keep them in the league.
So they've had some games where they showed promise, and others where they look like a team who should be relegated. Last season, if it wasn't for the impasse, they probably would have gotten relegated, and they got a second chance. And this year, we see them put more promising performances than the bad performances.
Despite some heavy losses to teams like Newtown and St. Paul's, Old Road have won 4 matches this season, 3 more than the bottom 4 teams in the league thus far. They took the scalp of playoff contenders Garden Hotspurs 1-0 in February and have fared well against newly promoted Trafalgar South Stars and Mantab FC. They were also awarded a gift from Newtown after the team was docked 3 points for fielding an ineligible player.
They would have taken advantage of the experience Morris brought to them from my vantage point. Although you may argue that they could be in a better position, I think they will take another year of building and remaining in the Premier League than a relegation fight. Once their performances remain at the level it was before the suspension of the league, there should be a team who will be sitting comfortably and looking forward for another season in the Premier Division.
Still, for Old Road to stay up in the Premier League, they must remain consistent and have a different attitude to the game.
We just, as we said before, as long as the guys continue to be disciplined and they come out to train, the OR team would be a team to be reckoned with in the future. But all in all, I think that they are buying into the new style the new style of football that we are looking at OR.
Old Road has a core of young players coming through a school system who, with the right attitude, can keep themselves out of relegation and one day challenge for the playoffs. For all your printing needs at top-notch quality, go to Digital Print Plus, located on Princess Street, Bastyr, St. Kitts. At Digital Print Plus, you get the best in business cards, letterheads, envelopes, wristbands, tent cards, rack cards, flyers, brochures, logo designs, posters, photos, architectural designs, 3D renderings, and so much more. Digital Print Plus gives you the best quality at competitive prices. Contact us at 767-7468 or email digitalprintskn@gmail.com or follow us on Facebook at digitalprintskn. Digital Print Plus, for all your printing needs at the best quality. Now you can have Skn Newsline on the go. Introducing Skn Newsline Android mobile app. Search Skn Newsline in the Google Play Store. Download the app free and stay up to date with TV news in St. Kitts and Nevis in the palm of your hands. With this app, you can watch your news reports, watch our live news feed on Skn Newsline TV, engage with us and other app users in the chat room, look at our special features, send us news tips, and call us directly. It's news on the go. The Skn Newsline Android mobile app. Download it free today.
Banners, commercial signs, decal printing, canvas prints, license plates, posters. We at Multigraphics are dedicated to providing quality products and service to our customers. Our team takes pride in the craftsmanship and is passionate about its work. Every job, large or small, is important. Most of our customers come to us through referrals. That's because our #1 priority is service. We serve a wide variety of customers, such as restaurants, retail stores, manufacturers, trucking companies, and many more. Our capabilities include design, production, and installation. How can we help? We are located at Bird Rock at the Woods Right compound. Call us at 869-763-1511 or 784-491-7599. Multigraphics.
KVK Enterprises at Boyd's Housing Development, Trinity Parish, St. Kitts. For all your t-shirt printing, banners and signs, promotional products, shipping, motivational speeches, computer classes, agro-processing, art and craft, and desktop publishing. Come to KVK Enterprises at Boyd's Housing Development, Trinity, St. Kitts. Telephone 661-0118 or 765-7270. Email drkhrystus@kvklives.com or visit www.kvklives.com. KVK Enterprises.